All right, here we go. Welcome back, kids. Row 26, another episode. Hots, Heads, Dreamers, Sixers. We're here. It's Saturday. Beautiful day. Hots has got his beautiful fucking Cowboys jersey on. Shout out to Michael Parsons. Love that. Nice alternate. Hots, good to see you, bro. Talk to me, kid. How you feeling? How was your week? How you doing?
Turn down the music a little bit.
Yeah. Sorry. I was just about to do that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, welcome back, Sixers, Hots, Heads, Dreamers, whoever else is fucking here. So obviously the Cowboys hired Brian Schottenheimer last night. Literally earlier in the day, Zach was saying Brian Schottenheimer turned down head coaching jobs and he'll probably never get one now.
It was like 2 days before. It was like a day before.
I don't think so, but whatever. Fucking la-di-da, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I had to write down my unmitigated thoughts. I went out last night. I had a couple drinks, come home to the news. So I'm going to, go and get on my soapbox here for a second. Buckle up.
Floor's yours.
The floor is mine. So I am a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan. I have a tattoo of AT&T Stadium on my bicep as part of a Dallas postcard tattoo. I took a trip with Cowboy fan friends to see the Cowboys play the Lions on January 4th, 2015. The postcard was to my father. He passed away 2 months before that game. My father, who was one fan in a generation filled with bandwagon fans across the country. Fans who were children and young adults in the late 60s and 70s who became enamored with the likes of Roger Staubach, Bob Lilly, Randy White, Tony Dorsett, Mel Renfro, Bob Hayes, and Drew Pearson. The generation of fans who became the reason the Cowboys received the moniker of America's team. Now, I know I could be dramatic, but it is not stretched to say my father and many other men and women of that generation of fans are rolling over in their fucking graves right now. This is going to sound like an unmitigated bashing of Brian Schottenheimer, and in a way it is. But it's really about Jerry Jones, a top 10 narcissist on planet Earth. Schottenheimer is not sniffing an NFL head coaching job with any other franchise in the league. He is solely another pawn in a long line of puppets to be played by the marionette as they pretend to be an actual shot caller. This makes it even more evident that McCarthy decided he didn't want to coach the Cowboys and not that Jerry Jones didn't want to rehire him. No one who wants any semblance of control wants anything to do with the Cowboys and their oligarch of an owner. It's official. It is official. Cowboys fans should no longer be chastised as frontrunners and bandwagoners. It has been 29 years since the Cowboys have played in a conference championship game. With the Washington franchise playing this weekend, that makes the longest drought in the NFC. Some teams who have made a conference championship game more recently than the Cowboys, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Carolina Panthers, the Oakland, LA, Vegas, whatever fucking Raiders, the New York Jets. Only teams with conference championship droughts longer than the Cowboys, the Miami Dolphins, and the Cleveland Browns.
Wow.
This current generation of Cowboys fans, if they still hold true and are diehards like myself, are brutally long-suffering fans who live and die with this shit. I'm sick of Jerry fucking Jones, and I'm sick of Cowboys fans getting universal hate when if you're a 28-year-old Cowboys fan, you've never seen a Final Four even when you were a fucking baby.
Oh my
God. Any other fan, any other team, you'd be seen as a long-suffering, loyal, and true fan. But as a Cowboys fan, you get seen as a know-nothing with a shitty lined-up chin strap and fucking jorts. Please prove me wrong, Brian Schottenheimer. I'm praying. The only purpose of this hire is to maintain the status quo of fucking mediocrity, which hasn't worked in 30 fucking years, and honestly longer than that. We just had the good fortune of the holdover of what Jimmy Johnson built to win one last Super Bowl without him. Jimmy Johnson, who was fired after winning back-to-back Super Bowls by none other than Jerry fucking Jones. My New Year's resolution was to cut back on drinking. I said it on this podcast. How the fuck am I supposed to do that with this fucking team? Done.
For the record, I planned on letting it breathe. So I'm glad I did, because there had to be an exclamation point in some regard. First of all, that was biblical, is the word I'll use. Biblical. So thank you for that. Man, okay. We talk about clipping stuff. Man, that would go viral. That's the craziest shit I've ever heard. The way you said it, the words that you used, the word choice, oligarch, these specific words that you used throughout your entire just
monologue, if you will.
Monologue. I don't even. That's what I'm saying. I don't even want to use spiel because that has a negative connotation to it, as if you're rambling. You weren't. Everything was poignant. Oh man.
I mean, I'm it's like I said. I know I can be dramatic. It is. I'm on the verge of like screaming, punching walls, tears. Like, this is insane. This is absolutely insanity. This is a fucking joke. John Gruden and Bill Belichick don't have head coaching jobs, and we're in the NFL, I should say, and we're bringing in fucking Brian Schottenheimer again to maintain the status quo of a puppet head coach led by a fucking drunk, racist, fucking sexist oligarch in Jerry Jones. Even my fucking dog is crying about this shit because she senses my emotions. I'm fucking over it, man. I love this fucking team. I love this fucking franchise. It was so important to me. My whole childhood, my whole fucking bond with my father. This is life or death. Like I said, I live and I die with this team, and I feel personally fucking disrespected and betrayed.
So just to give some backlog, I'll do some of the other stuff because Hots gave the perfect description of this hire from an emotional perspective and from a Cowboy fanship, what real fanship looks like perspective. Schottenheimer has been an offensive coordinator for most of his career. If you don't know anything about him, something to do with offensive assistant, offensive coordinator. He's been on a multitude of teams. He's been coaching since the late 90s, early 2000s. Got his start with the Rams. He was with the Jets for a long period of time. That's how most people know him. Some people know him to working with Drew Brees on the Chargers teams early 2000s. But in general, most people know Brian Schottenheimer being the OC for some of those Jets teams that went to the AFC Championship game, such as the Mark Sanchez teams, for example. I think they were 09 and 10. And then moving along, he had different jobs, different stints. Once again, the one consistent thing you'll see about Brian Schottenheimer with a 15-year career is that you won't see a head coaching gig on his resume. And the reason that you don't see a head coaching gig is because at the end of the day, his father's a legend, but he was never head coaching material. And that's not a slight to you as a coach. I think a lot of people get it fucked up. We talk about Steve Spagnuolo on this program all the time. Not a good head coach, just not the guy. He was a head coach, didn't have success. So what did he realize? I'm the best I'm the best at this. Let me be the best at this. And it seems like even Brian Schottenheimer, if you were to ask him, like he was the OC on Dallas for the last couple seasons. If you were to ask him about being head coach, he'd probably tell you that he's loyal to Jerry Jones. He's loyal to the program. And it's not even like head coaching was in one of his purview and his goal. I bet you he didn't even sign on to that job with Mike McCarthy thinking that he was going to become the head coach and upstaging Mike McCarthy. If you asked him, his goal was to be the offensive coordinator. And history tells you that because he's been an offensive coordinator since the year 2000. So it's like, from that perspective, the hire doesn't make sense. That's what I mean from the unbiased fanship perspective. That's just like looking at the hire from an external perspective. Like, I don't understand. He's never been a head coach. He's never proven to be a head coach. He's never proven to win a locker room. And it's not like he's been the most incredible offensive coordinator either. So I don't know. He was on those Seattle teams as well. Some of the resurgent seasons with Russell Wilson, Tyler Lockett, and those teams, whatever.
I would say you're giving him way too much credit. He's only an offensive coordinator because he's a Nepo baby. His dad is a legendary head coach, but also a legendary head coach who never fucking crossed the echelon into greatness. Yes, True. He was 15-1 with the Chargers, but guess what? True. They fucking choked. Guess what? They fucking choked.
True.
I'm
with you on the Schottenheimer thing. I was always against Rivers.
Fucking one of the worst. Guy, so he's a fucking Nepo baby loser. He's been a nobody as the fucking Cowboys offensive coordinator. You ask fucking anyone who the Cowboys offensive coordinator is the last few years, nobody would even fucking know because McCarthy calls the plays.
Yeah,
because McCarthy calls the fucking plays. He's a do nothing, know nothing, fucking never baby loser, and I'm fucking furious. And I really am at a loss for fucking words because even when I'm looking at the interviews, I'm like, Leslie Frazier, that would suck. Oh man, like all these guys are interviewing. That sounds terrible.
Deion sounded like literally your best option. I'm not fucking with you. And that was not even real from either side. Neither side even, like, there was no request to interview, and he never
Deion, that would suck. That would suck. You can't recruit players in the NFL.
Right.
That's a salary cap. This is Deion would suck. This is beyond suck. They went from Jason Garrett to McCarthy. I've made this analogy before. Mm-hmm. Jason Garrett and Romo to McCarthy and Dak was more of the same fucking mediocrity. But still, I would say McCarthy was a slight step forward.
I agree.
From Jason Garrett.
No question.
This is going now back to beneath Jason Garrett. This is worse than Jason Garrett, let alone worse than Mike McCarthy. And like I said, if Jerry Jones just wanted to maintain the status quo, he would have just rehired McCarthy. It must have been McCarthy who said, no, I don't want to coach this team anymore because I can't do it with your boot on my fucking neck. And that's what he wants. That's what Jerry Jones wants. He wants a coach who will sit there and fucking suck his fucking dick and just do whatever the fuck he says because he had a fantastic fucking coach in the early 90s who went from 1-15 to 7-9 to 11-5 to back-to-back Super Bowl champions. And then what did he do? He fired him over a fucking disagreement. What are we fucking talking about? He just won 2 Super Bowls in a row. 93, Super Bowl champion. 94, Super Bowl champion. Then, guess what? He didn't coach in the NFL until 96 with the Dolphins. It's not like he had a bad year after that and got fired. No, that's not what happened. He got fired after winning back-to-back Super Bowls. That is unheard of. That'll never happen again.
No.
In my lifetime, I
remember coaches getting fired after, like, playoff runs. Stuff like that has happened before, but never after winning.
2 Super Bowls in a row. Not just 1 Super Bowl. Back-to-back Super Bowls in a row, and then Jerry Jones was like, he's arguing with me. I know best. I'm Jerry Jones. I'm going to fire this legendary coach, national championship coach at Miami, Super Bowl winning head coach in Dallas.
He came out of the Hall of Fame, and that didn't happen. And that didn't
just absolutely fucking dreadful.
The whole thing with Jimmy Johnson, the whole story.
You know, it's just insane. Jerry Jones is the fucking Antichrist. He is the worst person.
He's the Pepsi to the Coke, man.
He is the worst person to have as your owner.
Question. Can I ask you a question, though? Where does Stephen Jones fall into this?
Stephen Jones is Jerry Jones's son. What's he going to fucking do? He could get overruled.
For you. If Jerry was out of the way then, when Jerry dies, unless he's Joey DePool, you know, and he's
longer than me.
He's 250.
Do you hear me right now? I'm gonna have a heart attack in a fucking week and a half. He's gonna outlive me. I don't have a chance to outlive Jerry fucking Jones. This is fucking ridiculous. I can't pray on his death anymore. It's not worked for the last 10 years. He's 82 years old. He's gonna live to 140 because he's a billionaire. I got no chance. He's got me beat.
They're gonna freeze his body, John. He's gonna be making decisions frozen like Dr. Evil. You gotta
know. I don't know. Like Ted Williams is frozen. But I don't know, man. Stephen Jones, whatever. I don't know. I know that he can't overrule his dad. I know the one story about Zach Martin.
I got
him. He had Johnny Manziel. He wanted to draft Johnny Manziel, and Stephen Jones was like, took the card out of his hands. And Zach Martin, like, yeah, maybe he could do that once every fucking 10 years. But at the end of the day, fucking Jerry Jones would throw his own son to the fucking curb if he stood up to Jerry Jones.
Yeah, definitely seems like tight. Yeah, I like that thing.
Just like Jimmy Johnson. You know, like Jimmy Johnson was probably like a son to him. 2-time Super Bowl champ, back-to-back Super Bowl champ. You know, built this roster that won another championship after him, like I mentioned.
Both from the same neck of the woods, you know? Like, definitely.
Both played at Arkansas, if I'm not mistaken.
Arkansas, yeah.
like I said, Barry Switzer and those coaches who won the last Super Bowl, that was in spite of those coaches and coordinators. That wasn't because of those coaches and coordinators.
Deion was on that team, yeah?
Deion was on that team. Troy Aikman hated – you watch a Football Life, Troy Aikman, he's screaming at everyone on the sidelines, and there's a really poignant moment where he goes, don't we have coaches for this shit? Like they had to move on because, again, he just wanted to hire weak coaches who would do whatever he said, who were just along for the ride, collecting a paycheck with America's team. Even with Parcells, that didn't work out. And then with Dave Campo and
so maybe there's a conspiracy, John. You're onto something. Maybe the Cowboys are paid to lose.
No, I just think it's not a conspiracy. It's that Jerry Jones needs to be the face. And if they have a prominent head coach, i.e. Jimmy Johnson, or someone competent who is in control, has personnel decision-making under his belt, then Jerry Jones isn't okay with that. Jerry Jones needs to be the guy to get the credit.
The other guy that selects picks for them, what's his name? He's
Will McClay. But my point being, Will McClay. But my point being is that
I feel like he's also.
They could have let Sean fucking Payton. Sean Payton was the OC, but he wanted fucking personnel, and Jerry wouldn't give it to him. So he goes and wins the Super Bowl with New Orleans.
Right.
This is what happens when you're a fucking Cowboys fan. You deal with the ownership, and it's a fucking nightmare.
Sean Payton could have been the coach of the Cowboys for the last fucking 10 years, bro.
Probably, but
that was supposed to have happened.
But you know what? I wax poetic about it enough. You know, we can move on. I don't know if you want to just get into other coaching hires, maybe grade / rank them. Cowboys are obviously last. But if you want to get into that, or if you just want to talk about this weekend.
I got some different ideas. So the first one that caught my eye, besides the Carroll and Brady thing, I want to get into that in a second, but I just have one more question about this. The Cowboys are good, right? They're 12-5. They were 12-5 last year. When they first started with Dak, what were they like? They had a great team that year too. I don't know if they were
like 13-3.
13-3. This is what I mean. So they've been good about picking personnel, finding guys like Deron Bland, these other guys in the draft that have worked out. Like you talked about, Stephen Jones ripping the card and picking a Hall of Famer instead of Johnny Manziel. That is actually what happened. So I understand. Yeah, I agree with you. The whole take about Jerry, obviously, it's obvious you're more on the inside of it than I am, but I definitely think that the teams have been good. I also think there's just been a stroke of bad luck with the team. I don't think that necessarily, like football, people are like, there's like, your team sucks if you don't win the Super Bowl, but they're like, that's like one winner, but your team could still be mad good, and you could just get stroke of the bad luck. Aaron Rodgers makes a throw that's ridiculous. The one-of-one throws to fucking Cook or whatever that was down the sideline. You guys win that game. I mean, that you guys had a great year that year. Des Bryant, no catch. That year as well was kind of bullshit. That was obviously a catch to like every other year besides that year, basically, when they were fucking with the catch rule, whatever. So, you know, I think that in general, football is very finicky also. It's like you can win or lose within a few plays and shit like that, and people make that into a grand point. So I'm with you on the Jerry Jones take and how he's holding them back for sure, and these hires are the example of that for sure. But you guys have also had teams. Absolutely, you've had teams, competitive teams that could have went on runs as much as the Commanders are making runs this year, whatever. I think runs that weren't expected, or people think the Cowboys are going to fuck up as they always do and trip over themselves as they always do. But you guys still have had teams to get through that narrative, and it just hasn't happened yet. But injuries to Dak.
This is the longest question ever. Ask the fucking question.
No, it's not necessarily a question. It's more like I'm just giving you a take on the other side of your take.
Like, I have a question, and then you talk for fucking 5 minutes.
More like
the answer to your question is, this is the worst spot to be at in sports, to be almost there, but not quite there. It's the worst.
Like the Giants.
No, the Giants won the Super Bowl. The Giants fucking... We're talking about, guys, since 1995, we haven't been to the NFC Championship game. These crazy events, yes, that's the closest. The Dez catch, I'll give you. That's the closest one. They should have maybe been a catch. I was still, there was still time left in that game. That's not a guarantee. If they call that correctly, we get to the NFC Championship game. But that's the closest. But this is what I'm talking. No, I don't think the players have more control of it because the owner hires a coach who's getting out-coached in every playoff game for 30 fucking years. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if the fucking players like fall short. And like you said, maybe it's fluky with this and that. I mean, we're talking about the Aaron Rodgers game. That game was tied. It wasn't like the Cowboys were winning. That game was tied. Aaron Rodgers made the crazy throw. They kicked the field goal to win the game. Dak led a great drive to kick a field goal to tie it with like 25 seconds left or whatever. But that game, we weren't like in the NFC Championship game if Aaron Rodgers doesn't make that crazy throw. If Mason Crosby doesn't make that great kick,
you guys didn't
that was a wild card round game. They still needed to win and then win again, like to make the Super Bowl.
I'm talking opportunity.
But opportunity-wise, they make the playoffs, just that. But like I said, this is the worst spot to be. I'd much rather be a shitbag team with a chance to rebuild with a number 1 overall pick. The last number 1 overall pick the Cowboys had was fucking Troy Aikman. Like in 1989. We're talking about a team. I mean, I guess we had Claiborne at 5. Mm-hmm. We had Zeke at 4. We had some years where we had a chance to maybe rebuild a little bit.
Yeah, Terrence, so high, 4. Wow.
Terrence Newman, I think, was 5 or 6 back in the day. And not like any of those picks were even big misses besides maybe Claiborne, who was a good but not great player, But like, it's not like, obviously, we haven't drafted bad. We haven't had a terrible team. Like, even those teams that I listed who have been to conference championships more recently, Jaguars, Raiders, Jets, those teams.
You're talking about like the Bortles team and stuff like that, where
Yeah, they went to the AFC Championship game.
I hear you.
They actually were close against the Patriots in that game. That wasn't a blowout.
Their defense was amazing.
The Panthers have been to the fucking Super Bowl. The Panthers have been around.
They've been around. Yeah, they've
been around. The Panthers and Jaguars have been around about as long since the Cowboys were fucking in the conference championship game last. I think they started their franchise like the next year after that.
80s. Yeah.
No,
Jaguars started in what year was that?
I want to say 96, but I could be mistaken.
Right.
Between 96 and 98, the Panthers and Jaguars came into the NFL the same year.
95. Close.
Well, 95 to 96, like the Cowboys won in the 94-95 season.
Right. So, true. Yeah, you're right.
Whatever, or maybe 95-96. Anyway. Either way, their franchises started after the Cowboys already been around for 30 fucking years, and they've made the conference championship game more recently.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane. The Texans have more playoff games since they've been an expansion team than the fucking Cowboys do. So I don't want to hear this like, oh, they go 12-5, they do this and that. That's the worst. I'd rather be shitty and fucking rebuild and get new coaches and fucking
like they're just placating. They're not actually
the fucking mediocrity.
There's not actually steam behind them. It's a bullshit. It's
there's no fucking accountability. There's nothing. I'm done. Right. I'm done talking about it.
So I want to put on the Hots corner. I want to get into the Hots corner. So.
All right, we'll switch it up.
Let's switch it up. I'm proud of you, John. Very self-aware of your team's current situation. Proud of you. It's a great take. Not easy to talk about, I'm sure.
Yeah. Ask me a fucking question.
I got you, bro. Let me breathe for a second. Yeah, have a sip. All right, you ready? Here we go.
Yeah.
Clinton Portis or Brian Westbrook?
Portis.
Who are the 5 best coordinators since 2000?
Can they never be a head coach, or can they go on to be head coach?
That's up to you. I just said coordinators, so I didn't even.
5 best coordinators since 2000. Kyle Shanahan, Steve Spagnuolo for sure. Give me Romeo Crennel. Trying to think more offensive.
And Johnson?
No. Give me Josh McDaniels. He's been a good coordinator. So what is it? Josh McDaniels, Crennel, Spagnuolo. I forgot the first one already. Kyle Shanahan. And Sean McVay.
Okay. Rank these artists. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Fall Out Boy, Taking Back Sunday, Blink-182.
Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blink-182, Taking Back Sunday, Fall Out Boy.
Where would be the toughest environment to play in the entire world if you could pick any place to play a football game?
Toughest environment to play. Probably Kansas City when it's freezing cold like last year against the Dolphins.
Well, that leads into my next question, so that's cool. Besides Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, who are the top 5 quarterbacks between the Bills and the Chiefs combined? They're both of their franchises.
Jim Kelly, Len Dawson, Trent Green, Alex Smith.
No more on that Bills side, huh?
Nah, I got nothing else for the Bills, honestly. I'm trying to think, but nobody comes to mind.
I figured it was going to get thin out there. That's cool.
I'll do those 4. We'll make it a Mount Rushmore instead of the top 5.
All right, the last one is trivia. So you want to go through the questions, or you want to just jump into the trivia?
Yeah, do the trivia, and then we'll go through questions.
All right, so 22 guys have had at least 25 triple-doubles in their career.
Okay.
Name the 22 guys.
22 is a crazy list. All right.
But some of them are so gimmies that, that's why I did
all right, let me write them down as I go.
I'll check them off that you said them. I got you.
Jason Kidd.
Correct. Number
Russell
6.
Westbrook.
You want me to tell you where they are all time? Will that help you at all?
Sure, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. He's number 6 all time.
All right, Russell Westbrook.
He's number 1.
Oscar Robertson.
Number 2.
LeBron James.
Number 5.
Triple-double. Michael Jordan?
He is number 20 on this list.
All right, so I got 5 so far.
At least 25 triple-doubles in their career, just to remind you.
Okay, at least 25 triple-doubles in their career.
Yep.
Give me Magic Johnson.
Yep. He's number 4 all time.
Give me Andre Miller.
Andre Miller is not here, so we'll count that as your first miss.
All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of 22. Oh man,
Some more gimmies out there.
I might have to go back a little bit. Is what I'm thinking.
One of these names, if you get it,
don't give me a hint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not giving any clues, but I'm saying one of these names, if you get this, I don't even know what to say.
All right. I don't want to get too many wrong. That's the problem. All right.
Most are obvious, in my opinion, for you.
6. I have 6 right now of 20. You said it was 22 total people?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I want to get at least 11 before I get 3
you'll
strikes.
Get more than that. No, you'll be good.
All right. I should just start getting a little more aggressive with it. All right. Kobe.
Not top 22.
Wow. Never had 25 triple doubles. Holy shit. I was trying to do that as a safe one. All right. I guess I should just start doing some more big passers who just got 12, 10 rebounds every once in a while. But I don't know. Chris Paul.
No.
Wow. Crazy. Rajon Rondo.
There's a good name. That sounded right. Where is he? Is he on this list somewhere? I thought I saw him. Yeah, there he is. I knew I saw him. 17 all time.
All right. I feel like I got to go back in time a little bit here. Larry Bird.
There we go. He is number 11 all time.
Jerry West.
Scorer. He's a scorer.
Got a lot of assists too. All right. No, I want to keep doing this though. This is fun.
Yeah, I figured this would be a good one. There's one guy that you like is your boy, and like I don't understand. He's like your boy, and you haven't guessed him yet.
I'm not good. I mean, Paul Pierce.
No,
that's my number one boy.
No, I'm talking like in terms of like triple doubles and like a guy that like.
All right, you're probably throwing me off more than you're helping me. All right, let me just think this real quick. Big guards. Triple doubles. Fuck, who am I fucking leaving out here? All right, this is terrible podcasting, so I just gotta start firing off some guesses. Vince Carter. Tracy McGrady. Tim Duncan.
Not top 22.
Hakeem Olajuwon.
Not top 22.
All right, so big guys are fucking out. All right,
Some.
point forward kind of guys. Let me think about this here. Man, I feel like I can't say Curry. I just don't think he gets 10 rebounds enough. Klay Thompson.
Nah. That was a throwaway.
Yeah, I know. I felt bad about that one when I said it. All right, Jimmy Butler.
Well,
20 to 25 triple doubles is a fucking lot of triple doubles. All right, let me go back into the archive a little bit here.
there are a couple guys here that you definitely should have. There are a couple guys here that
John Stockton.
Not gonna get the rebounds. I don't here. He's not get the rebounds.
There's a double-double every night. That's what I'm going for now, I'm thinking.
That's one way to look at it. There's a current guy that you should have.
James Harden.
Yeah, that's one. He's number 8 all time.
Yeah, I should have had that sooner, to be fair.
Yeah, you should give that perspective, though. He's at number 8 all time, James Harden.
James Harden is 8 all time.
Triple doubles more happen than the current thing.
Yeah, obviously.
A lot of these guys have been collecting them for no reason.
25 is still a lot, though. I was trying to think.
Crazy. It gives you perspective. We see people get them and they're like, oh, it's no big deal. But it's like, this puts it in perspective, actually.
Yeah, only 22 people all time have it. All right, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got to get to 11 before I give up. All right. Dwayne Wade. Really? That's crazy. He had a triple-double at Marquette. You never see him in college.
That's true.
Dwayne Wade doesn't have 25 triple-doubles.
There's two guys that are tied, which are the funniest names to put next to each other, who are both current players.
Both current players who are tied. Not Chris Paul. Derrick Rose? No.
He didn't get rebounds like that.
Yeah, Derrick Rose. Who at 22nd, how many triple doubles is it? Like exactly 25?
So number 22 has 25. You haven't guessed that person yet. Number 21 has 26. Number 20 is Michael Jordan. You guessed him.
Yeah. All right.
And Michael Jordan had 28 all the time.
So many. Two of them are current.
For perspective, Russell Westbrook has 202 triple
Yeah, he averaged it a bunch of times. I feel like with blocks, or even one year he led the NBA in assists. Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah, absolutely. He's number 9 all time.
Yeah, I should have had that way earlier.
78 he had.
Yeah, Wilt Chamberlain. Makes me want to guess Bill Russell.
Not him. Close, though. He was a running mate.
I can't believe Olajuwon didn't get it. In a running mate with Bill Russell, Havlicek, Kuzi.
Both. Bang, bang. That's back-to-back swishes right there. So Bob Cousy.
You can give me hints now.
Bob Cousy, I don't know the number because I guess I exited out by accident, but he's number 14 all time. And Havlicek had 31. He's number 18 all time.
All right. Now you give me hints.
Clues? You want some clues? Okay.
Yeah.
Guy that was destined to be Michael Jordan.
Guy that was destined to be Michael Jordan?
But because of injuries, it never really panned that way. But we saw glimpses of it. But he was doctored as the next Jordan.
Oh my gosh. I have no idea. Give me a clue for the next guy.
Next guy, he was on the Lakers team, the championship team, the Magic.
James Worthy. I almost guessed him too.
Nah,
Abdul-Jabbar.
not him either. One
What
other
the
guy.
Fuck. Michael Cooper.
Nah. The guy who came off their bench when he was an older player.
Oh, Bob McAdoo.
No.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, let's move on to a different clue.
Yeah, that's
one
crazy.
guy has like been the MVP, and like I don't understand what's going on right now. Like I don't know how you didn't guess this.
Steve Nash. Did I
No.
already guess him?
The current player, like who?
Oh, Jokic.
Yeah. He's number 3 all time.
Wow.
150 of them.
Yeah, that's
Probably
a bad
end-
miss.
He'll-
That's a
he'll
bad
end-
miss.
Yeah, that's when I said your boy. I was like, that's your boy.
Yeah.
Another one is another European player who's incredible.
Ginobili. He's from Argentina.
No.
He's not even from Europe.
Yeah, European.
Luka Doncic.
Yeah, he has 80 all time. He's number 7. Him and Nikola will probably be in the top 3 when it's all said and done. The way
Yeah.
this is going. Another guy is another European player. Father was incredible as well.
Sabonis.
Yeah, DeMontis has 63.
Wow.
He is 10th all time. He had like 40 last year. He led the league in double doubles last year too.
He didn't have 40 triple doubles. That's crazy.
Something like that. It was nuts, like 30 or something like that. Something crazy.
Right.
The other person is a European player as well. Also incredible. Has a ring.
Current player.
Current player. Yeah.
European current. Giannis.
Yeah. He's number 12 all time. Yes.
Yeah, the current. I guess I wasn't expecting the currents like this. That's my fault.
This name, I don't even know how to give you a clue.
What team do they play for?
I don't even know who he is. I don't know.
Click on him.
Let me click on him. He played for the Portland Trailblazers. He was the 11th overall pick, first round in the 1982 draft.
Clyde Drexler.
He's on the list. But that's not who I'm talking about. Clyde is the last person on this list, number 22, 25. The guy above him that I was describing before was Elgin Baylor. He has 26.
Elgin Baylor was drafted way before 1982.
What? No, that's not. No.
You're thinking of Terry Porter?
No. A guy I was talking about way before, not just before.
Oh. Terry
This guy-
Porter.
no, this
Terry
guy's-
Porter. Terry Porter.
No. This guy, I'm telling you, I don't even know who he is. His name is Fat Lever.
Oh, okay, yeah. I do know who that is, but I wouldn't have guessed it.
That's a random weird name. I don't know.
Okay.
Moving
Elgin
on.
Baylor was from before. All right.
The guy who was deemed to be the next Jordan played for the Pistons.
Next Jordan played for the Pistons?
Yeah, Grant Hill.
I don't know him as the next Jordan.
You can look
But,
that up. I'm telling you.
You could have just said Duke or something. Like, that's a crazy clue.
The other one, these other two that I said that were tied, 15 and 16, are both. One of them has championships. The other one is a disappointment.
Mark and Pau Gasol.
No. They're not brothers though. No. Separate players. One's light skinned, one's full black.
Ben
And,
Simmons.
Yeah, that's one. He has 33.
And
The other one played on championship teams. And is a
Anthony
current player.
Davis.
No.
Played on championship team as a current player. Where'd he go to college?
Michigan State.
Draymond Green.
Right. He has 33 also, tied with Ben Simmons. That's
All right.
I think
Yeah, that was tough. Tough. 25 triple doubles is a lot. I definitely wasn't thinking modern enough. I was just thinking historically. That's on me.
Yeah. But not easy. Honestly, some of them I really thought this would be too easy. That's why I wanted to do 22, because Nikola Jokic to me, like you would have, if you really like some of the ones that I really thought were that you would have, like Larry Bird, that you would have quick, you would have probably had half this list in 5 seconds.
Yeah, no,
It would've
I got
been
to
like a
I got
top
to
10.
I got to 12 without hints. I'm okay with that. I could have done better, but I'm also fucking emotional right now. So no, it is what it is. No, that was good. That was
Good,
good.
though. I
That
like
was a good one. I think 12 out of 22 isn't bad with no hints.
That's good.
in like 5 minutes. But yeah, I should have Jokic, Doncic, Giannis. Like I wasn't really thinking. Like that's where
those
I fucked
three,
up.
and then
Those are the ones that really left on the table. Draymond, I guess. I probably could have
Yeah.
assumed he got to 25, but still seems like a lot.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But
It's
also, the fact that it's a stat that it's so few of, like, it's not like 500 home runs, where,
Bro.
like, you know someone had to have 10, 50 home run seasons.
Bro,
Like, you know, the difference between 25 and 33 is so slim,
there's
you know?
six guys that have over 100 triple doubles. Six.
Yeah. Yeah, you should. Yeah, if you were like, give me the 6 guys who had over 100. Like, I had Kidd, Westbrook, Oscar Robinson, LeBron.
The only one you didn't have was Nicola.
Yeah, exactly. And
You had
Magic.
5 out of 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. So. That's
And
good.
then we'll go over the other ones quick.
Yeah, Clinton Portis to Brian Westbrook. You went with Portis. More the down
Yeah.
back. I like that answer.
Yeah, he's had 3 down back. Obviously, had a great college career too.
So off the back of that, it's just we're in it since we're talking about it. Obviously, I picked these 2 players coming from respective organizations that are going to be competing this weekend. Unbiased take, your thoughts on the Commanders versus the Eagles?
Well, we got a lot of time. We'll just go over. Let's go over the rest of the questions first, because we'll probably preview the games after this. I'm assuming.
All right, so I'll end it on the other one with the Josh Allen and the question about the both Chiefs combined. So let me go through. Let me see here. The Fallout Boy, Red Hot. So what'd you say? You said Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blink, Taking Back Sunday, Fallout Boy is your order, correct?
I said Red Hot Chili Peppers,
Yeah.
Blink. Yeah. Take Back Sunday followed by.
I like that.
Yeah.
That sounds like
Yeah.
what I would say. I go back and forth on the Blink, Red Hot Chili Peppers, but some of the classics.
Red Hot Chili Peppers I saw live, and I never
Same.
saw Blink-182 live, so maybe that's the difference.
Yeah.
And then
good.
Taking Back Sunday, I feel like super underrated. They had like a
Super.
short run, but that one album where it's like,
Yeah, with like Make Damn Sure and all those. Yeah.
yes.
Classic album.
That's
Yeah.
a great album.
Yeah, for sure. Agree. Good take. And then, one of the questions I forgot to ask you: what is your favorite NBA All-Star game moment? That was one question I had here. I just forgot to ask it.
My favorite NBA All-Star game moment was probably when Kobe got his first All-Star game MVP.
Oh, at MSG
I believe so. I'm not
Throw?
positive, but
with the throw.
he just went off, and it was his first one, and it
That
meant
was with
something to
MJ.
him.
Right?
It like actually meant something to him, where so few fucking players care about the All-Star game and stuff. That was a great moment. And then if you were including like the whole weekend, then
Yeah, the whole weekend.
the Vince Carter dunk contest also is another core memory.
Core.
Yeah, yeah.
T-Mac and fucking Steve Francis.
Yeah,
Cool.
Vince Carter just he did the
Yeah.
arm hang in the rim. That was sick.
Yeah. The 360 windmill, the hype, the moment. That was the peak NBA. Peak for sure.
That was good times.
Where would be the toughest environment to play in the entire world if you could pick a place to play a football game? I thought you were going to go crazy. I thought you were going to be like Tibet, build a football
Yeah, I
field
mean,
there.
like you say, like Dagestan, like
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
the top
You're
of
gonna-
Mount Everest. You know
how
what
you
I
were
mean?
going to answer it, so that's why I just
Yeah.
left it to you. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I was gonna be like the top of Mount Everest. You
That
know
would
what
have
I
been
mean?
amazing. I thought you were
yeah.
going to do that for sure.
Nah, I figured it
Like
had
if
to
I
be a
caught you on a
real.
different day, you might have for sure.
Maybe.
That's funny though. But yeah, you said Arrowhead, correct?
Yeah, and look, but it has to be like the freezing cold. Like I said, Miami going there last year.
Yeah.
Mahomes' helmet's cracking. Like, it's crazy. You watch some of these guys, like, the no sleeves is crazy. The no gloves is even crazier.
You're
Like,
catching
my hand, like,
yeah.
just walking my dog, like when my hands, like I don't have gloves on or whatever, like my hands get so fucking cold. Like I can't
Yeah.
imagine like playing with no gloves. Offensive lineman, defensive lineman with no gloves is insane.
Yeah, I feel you. All right, who are the 5 best coordinators since 2000? You said Kyle Shanahan, Bags, Cornell. You said
Josh McDaniels and Sean McVay. Yeah.
McVay.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with that answer. A lot of those guys went on to become head coaches, obviously. You know, Kyle Shanahan gets a lot of flack for the Super Bowl, you know, obviously blowing that lead, maybe getting away from Devontae Freeman, who had a great first half. But in general, he took a lot of shitty offenses with not a lot of talent and put together some good teams, especially those Browns teams with like Derek Anderson and Braylon Edwards, where they like were horrible forever. And then all of a sudden you got, some successful.
Didn't they blow the
offenses.
Trent Richardson pick during that era? That was them.
Yeah, but I don't think that was Kyle Shanahan's decision. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
And he actually was pretty good for the Browns the first year. At least
a couple years. He had 1,000-yard things, I think, early.
His rookie year had 11 touchdowns, and they were also, if you're going to give them the flack for that draft pick, they also were smart enough to flip him to the Colts for another first-round draft pick. Before it got real bad.
Buy a bag of shit. Yeah, Colts are always in the business of buying bags of shit.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. But, I mean, I think he's been a great coordinator throughout his career. Obviously, good head coach, been to some Super Bowls. Sean McVay, we've seen what a genius he is.
He's the man.
Like, obviously, was a great offensive coordinator. Spagnuolo, I heard an argument recently. Can you make the Hall of Fame as just a coordinator? Because if you can, you have to make that argument for Spagnuolo. 4 Super Bowls as a defensive coordinator.
So. There's no one else in the Hall of Fame that's just made it as a coordinator?
I don't think so. As just a coordinator. Then again, Spagnuolo did coach a little bit for the Rams as a head coach. But no, I don't think I think Dick LeBeau made it as a player. He was just a coordinator, but he made it as a player. He has 74 interceptions in his career.
Oh, that's crazy. Let's see here. No, there are no pure offensive or defensive coordinators in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah, so should Spagnuolo be the first?
Dick LeBeau was a player, like you said. Yeah, he was the first name listed there. That's crazy.
And I swear I didn't make that same Google search you just made. That was just off the top of the head.
You just spit out what Google Genius said.
Yeah, I'm Google AI of NFL.
Sure. Nice to meet you.
Look up how many interceptions Dick LeBeau has, because I said 74. I bet you I'm off by like 1 or 2, but I think so.
Hold on. Uh, 62.
Way off.
Not bad.
I feel like he had more than that, though.
Maybe I'm not looking at the right thing.
No, you're probably right. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of who got first. But it's still, 62 career interceptions is definitely in the top 5 interceptions all time.
Bro, did you know that Russell Wilson's a 9-time Pro Bowler?
Pro Bowl doesn't mean shit anymore between it happening after the Super Bowl now.
Yeah, Pro Football Reference confirmed 62.
Yeah.
Charles Richard LeBeau, a.k.a. Dick LeBeau.
Yeah.
Ohio State, how you doing? How's your family?
Shout out to Paul Krause, 81 interceptions all time, still stands.
Whoa. That guy's a ball hawk.
But all right, so you want to talk about the head coaching hires or get into these weekend matchups? Whatever you want to do.
Well, the weekend matchups should be pretty quick here. We don't have to get too granular. It's only 2 games, and I got the Chiefs in the first game. Or that's the second game. I don't know what game is first or second, but I got the Chiefs in the AFC.
It's the second game for the record.
Yeah, and all right, it's the second game. So yeah, I got the Chiefs, and until they lose or show me otherwise why I should bet against them, I'm gonna keep picking them because they're the better team and they have this guy, and that's the way it goes. So
yeah, no, I mean it's always been a rogue 26 take. Never bet against the Chiefs when they're underdogs in the playoffs. I almost was expecting them to be one. I think Andy Reid even said to his team, we'll probably be underdogs, but they actually are favorites in this game against the Bills. So yeah, either way, it's close enough. It's less than a field goal favorite. So.
Chris Jones, Travis Kelce, controlling the sidelines, Spags, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, too much leadership, too many alphas, too many people that have been there. I think that the Bills are close. I think that they could win the game. I hope they win. I went to school in Buffalo. Shout out to Bills Mafia, all that good shit. They're my second favorite team in the league. But, at the end of the day, I don't see it.
Then again, things are the way they are till they aren't. The things do change, Obviously, this team, and we have to find out where we land on the calls. Obviously, is it overexposure to the Chiefs that we see every bad call that goes their way in big moments because they are always in the playoffs? They play a lot of primetime games. You know, are they getting more bad calls than other teams? I think the one thing that's inarguable is that Mahomes attempts to get these calls. And one of the plays that wasn't called is the prime evidence of that, where he just kind of does a super mega European soccer flop, like going towards the sideline.
That was the worst thing he could have done for his own brand.
No one even touched him. So he's knowingly trying to do these late sides, trying to do these.
There was another one, the one on the helmet directly on him, where he kind of like brushed his helmet away. It was a little bit of an exaggeration on that one too, if I'm not mistaken.
So I think the first one was the right call, even though it was kind of like I said, late slide, this and that. It's like you have to give the defensive player an opportunity to make an adjustment.
That one
But
was right.
the second one was a bad call, and I think even Chiefs fans will admit that. But that being said, if that call doesn't happen, it's still like 2nd and 6 after that. It's
You're
not
talking about
like
the one where he hit him directly on, and he kind of brushed his helmet away when they called it.
I don't know exactly the semantics of the hit, but the second roughing call that they got.
One. Basically, I think that's basically the guy was coming straight at him, and he kind of dipped his head a little bit, the defender, when he was going to tackle, and Mahomes like exaggerated with his head as he was kind of getting hit, and it looked like his head got yanked.
Where he was like already a runner. Like it would have been like a 4-yard rush if they didn't call a penalty.
This is a different play then. And this is a different play that.
Yeah, I think it would have been 2nd and 6. Would have been.
I'm just saying, I think I saw a couple plays where he was flopping.
Either way, I don't think it necessarily changed the game against the Texans, but going into this Bills game, and we've seen Josh Allen do a lot of similar kind of fake towards the sideline, sell stuff too. He gets some calls also. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be interesting to watch. But it really is getting to a point where I think it'd be bad for the NFL, despite the Taylor Swift effect, despite the fanship of Chiefs fans. And they say dynasties are good for sports because you want people to cheer for people to lose, you know, to be the hated team, to be the villains. But at some point, if it becomes like, all right, this team is just getting gifts, like it will create an exhaustion among fans. As much as, look, I have every reason in the world not to watch the Commanders and Eagles this weekend. I hate both of them. It's my second worst scenario in an NFC Championship game I could think of besides Giants-Eagles. I hate these teams. I'm miserable. The Cowboys just hired Brian Schottenheimer, and I'm still going to watch every fucking second of that game because the NFL has a stranglehold over my life and millions of other men across America. But that being said, I think if you do gift the Chiefs, I'm not saying they will, I'm not saying there's a script, but if there's any sort of assistance, like where it seems like they're getting favoritism, you are playing with fire in terms of you have this monster product. You're not going to lose any fans because the Bills win. It's almost like you should favor the Bills, but then again, I don't know, the Taylor Swift, the this and that. I hope nobody gets fair. I just really hope for a cleanly called game. I'd rather see a cleanly called 35-14 game than a bad call change the outcome of a 28-27 game.
It can't be stuff that's egregious. Some of the spotting I've been seeing, like where they spot the ball, been a little bit lackluster, a little floppy. Like different things that seem to need to be cleaned up. Some of the bad face mask penalties that we've seen as well, where these guys are like eating into it and turning with the play and trying to sell it. The rest are fucking getting fucking fooled every time because it's not their full-time job. So they don't even know what the fuck they're looking at. They're only fucking working like half the year or whatever the fuck. So I don't know. These refs are just unreliable at this point. But I do think they want the rematch in some capacity, the Eagles versus the Chiefs. I think there is unfinished business. I also think that they maybe think the Eagles will win and beat the big bad wolf and would take on Barkley and all that bullshit. And that's the chance to beat the Chiefs. But I think that if Josh Allen can just control the ball, they can use James Cook and run the ball and not just try to score as quickly as possible and create turnovers and create bad plays and hoard the ball as much as possible. The Chiefs are beatable. They give you opportunities, and they had a huge return in the first quarter of the last game, and then they ended up only getting 3 points. I think they started on the 26-yard line to start the game, and they got stonewalled right there. And You know, they only got 3 points. I think they had 6 points by the end of the first quarter. It's not like, you know, I think there's a way to beat them. I think you can beat them. And the Bills have seen them the most. So the Bills have figured it out during the regular season. I believe the stat is 4-1 in the regular season or something like that. And then they're 0-3 in the playoffs against the Chiefs when it matters. So
yeah, no, I heard a similar stat. I think the key to the Bills beating the Chiefs this weekend is taking the governor off of Josh Allen.
Yeah, sure.
Let him run for 200 fucking yards if you need to. If he gets injured, you live and die with that. It is what it is. This is the Super Bowl if you're the Bills.
USA versus Russia, bro.
You can't be.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes, that's actually a great analogy. No one even remembers that you played Sweden in the gold medal game or whatever.
His name? OC got injured, and he ends up, or what? Not OC. Callahan gets injured, and he goes in and riles him up in the whole scene, and he's fucking.
Yeah. Who gives a shit about Sweden in the gold medal game? This is the fucking Super Bowl. Beat the Chiefs. Fucking. Right. Maybe you end up having a letdown. And yes, obviously you don't want to. If USA loses in the gold medal game, that story becomes null and void.
It was against Finland, by the way, not Sweden. Sweden was the round before Finland in the final.
That proves my point exactly. No one even fucking remembers. But then again, no one would remember the miracle at all if they had lost to Finland in the gold medal game. You know what I mean? So you got to go on and win. But that being said, you can't be worried about Josh getting hurt. You have to just fucking go for it. Mm-hmm. If he's got to run the ball every fucking play to win the game, that's what you do. You can't play any sort of save anything for the Super Bowl. You have to pull out all the stops to beat this Chiefs team and play your perfect A+ game. And still, you might need a little help. You might need a bounce, but you cannot even think about the Eagles or the Commanders until this game is over. You have to focus everything you have, all of your effort. If it leads to a letdown in the Super Bowl, so be it. You cannot even think about saving anything for the Super Bowl.
For sure.
Pull out all the stops this weekend. Fucking Philly special, fucking flea flick, whatever you got to do.
Plays.
Yes, reverse on a kick return. Anything you have in your bag, use it this weekend. You have to. Any rare blitzes.
For a double reverse to Jamison Williams.
That was a brutal. But at the end of the day, Ben Johnson can't throw the ball too. I feel like he's getting a lot of heat for that. It's like Jamison Williams. It is a terrible call because Gibbs was running so well. You could keep running the ball with Gibbs, Montgomery, probably go right down the field. Then again, you're down 10 points. You kind of need a quick score. You can't give it back to Jaden Daniels after a long drive.
The whole game.
Jaden Daniels, the drive before that drive where Jamison Williams threw the interception, just had a 8-minute touchdown drive after he threw a pick. He led them right down the field for an 8-minute long touchdown drive. If you take a long time, this is early fourth quarter, if you run the ball and go down the field, take 6 minutes, and then score and give it back to Jaden Daniels with 8 minutes left, there is a small chance that you didn't even see the ball again. Or if you do, you see the ball again down 10 points with less than 4 minutes left. So I get the urgency in a sense of maybe you can't just hand it to Gibbs over and over again. But at the same time, what I do think is that, yes, it's a bad call, but at the same time, Jamison Williams also could have thrown that ball into the 10th row, and avoided an interception,
Yeah.
So
it's not a Ben Johnson thing. I'm just fucking around, obviously. The play
I think it is a Ben Johnson thing to an extent.
To an extent. But it's almost not. You're still responsibility within a millionaire player.
He's getting too much of a little bit of a flack. That's all I'll say.
He's part of the culpability. He's not fully culpable.
Jamison Williams deserves a lot. I haven't heard a lot of people being like, Jamison Williams, you fucked up that play.
Well, I'm hearing a lot more. Jamison Williams is the kind of guy that is, unless you have Patrick Mahomes, you can't win with those guys, generally speaking. Super talented, but generally, those guys that are boneheads, like Kadarius Toney types, even still,
I wouldn't mention those two guys in the same sentence.
No, not in the same sphere, but just when they're making boneheaded plays, or this guy starts humping the ground, holding the ball like a loaf of bread.
I get what you're saying.
That ball he's running with that super play that he makes. He's so athletic. Just run it to the end zone, and it's a playoff game. Protect the program. He's running like it's a loaf of bread, and he just flips into the end zone and then starts humping the ground and gets 15 yards. It's just what the fuck's going on?
I get what you're
And then
saying,
he'll
but
be an
I wouldn't
exception.
put him in the
Like,
Jameis. I wouldn't put him in the category of Kadarius Toney,
he
obviously,
didn't get
and like
suspended though, didn't he? For like PEDs or something, JMO
he
too,
did
like,
some gambling shit. He got
gambling
caught with a
shit.
gun in his
Both
car,
boneheads
but
is the point. Yeah.
but I'm just saying, player-wise, he's a star. Like
Well, he's
a
way
very.
yeah, I agree.
Amon-Ra and Jamison Williams are just the notch below the T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Jordan
Yeah,
Jefferson,
great.
Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and fucking
JMO's
Devontae and AJ. Like AJ, like St. Brown.
You gotta have him on
and
the
James
field.
Williams
I agree
are
with
there.
that. I'm just saying, like, you gotta control the decimal a little bit here, like a double reverse, throwing the ball after.
Yeah, and no, I mean he could have done
a
a
little
backpack.
boneheady to do that.
Yeah, no. Like I said, he deserves some blame, but I think no one is being like Jamison Williams shouldn't have fucking thrown an interception. Like that's two things can be true. He shouldn't have called the play, and Jamison Williams shouldn't have fucking thrown it right to Mikey Sanders. Still, you know what I mean? Like there's
triple coverage blind, screaming.
yeah, crazy. All right, but yeah, no, I want the Bills to win. I have a Bills
same.
future.
Same.
You know, obviously, I think everybody does. But all right, if you had to pick like a couple parlays for this game, like or some legs, I don't know if you have numbers in front of you. But
Yeah,
if you
so
had
I'm
to
just
pick,
throwing things out there. I don't gamble as much. People know that. I just throw out proclamations and fucking thoughts, and I don't know shit. And I just get. So my thoughts are for this game, guys that I think are going to play well over on their yardage. Khalil Shakir would be a guy I feel like will need to be used. I could see an anytime touchdown for a guy like Dawson Knox, who's had a history of scoring against the Chiefs and just being in these big games. I don't know, if Amari Cooper is going to be available in this game with McDuffie shadowing him all game, so I would probably stay away from him. Maybe alt this thing up to an under, something like that I thought about. And I like Josh Allen anytime rushing touchdown, of course. Let me think. Just, are we only doing that game, or are we doing both games?
no, we could. Yeah, you could pick more for next game. You're good.
Okay. I'm just throwing things out. You can throw them out too as you think of them. Just throw them out.
Yeah, I'll give out my legs at the end.
Let me hear them.
I have a pick. I mean, for this game, I have Josh Allen anytime, Khalil Shakir 50+ receiving, Travis Kelce anytime.
Yeah, we're lying then. All right.
Yeah. So we're pretty.
We're pretty simpatico
We're pretty
there.
locked
Cool.
in there.
Here we go.
And then we'll go to the other side. Obviously I'll start. Like I talked about earlier, you're in a similar boat. Probably the second worst matchup you could imagine in an NFC Championship game. Just like me. This game
for a lot of Giant fans, this is number one for the record.
Nah, there's no way Giants fans hate the Commanders more than they hate the Cowboys.
We hated the Redskins. I'm telling you.
Yeah, same as the Cowboys, but
Brunell in those years, there was a lot. I'm telling you, there's a lot of beef there still.
The Commanders have been so irrelevant for so long, though.
I know. Yeah,
they've won one.
No offense, but the Cowboys are falling in a similar bucket to the Redskins.
No, because the Commanders didn't have a playoff win in 20 years before this year.
Yeah, I guess but they've always been like competitive and split with the Giants.
They've made the playoffs twice since 2004 before this year.
Yeah, not as
won
good
one
as the
playoff
top
game
between the Cowboys and the Redskins.
I don't know, whatever. I mean, whatever. I think that's wrong. I think that's wrong. I think Giants fans, 90% of Giants fans
hate the
Cowboys more than the Commanders.
All right. Well, anyway, I hate this matchup. I hope the Eagles lose. I hate them as number one. Obviously, we share that. And so I think that the Commanders could win this game. I can see Jaden Daniels getting an anytime touchdown. That seems good. Zach Ertz has been his reliable target in the red zone. So I like him for maybe an anytime touchdown too. That would be another thing I would look at. I would look at what's it called? Dallas Goedert seems to be really in shape. Kind of like he's like in mid-season form because he's had some injuries and stuff like that. He really hasn't had a chance to play consecutive games all year, and he looks really good right now. So I can see him playing really well too. Unfortunately,
just to respond to the chat real quick, I got C-Main saying terrible time for the play. Ben Johnson should have just ran the ball. But I do hold true to you're in the fourth quarter, you're down double digits, you're down 2 scores. How reliant on the run can you be without playing with fire? So if he wants to respond to that in the chat, feel free. Back to the Commanders-Eagles game. The Eagles have the better team. They have the better offensive line. They have the better defensive line. They have the better, skill position players on offense.
Yeah.
Besides the quarterback position. And I am willing to say that Jaden Daniels, in my opinion, is already better than Jalen Hurts. And I know people will say, oh, C.J. Stroud, great his rookie year and then fell off. Obviously, even Jalen Hurts, you can talk about in his 2022 year and then his fall off. But I see in Jaden Daniels, and I did, to be fair, I saw it in C.J. Stroud, and I still see it in C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud still won a playoff game this year, and, had a decent game, no turnovers against the Chiefs.
Tons of injuries to his pass catchers, dude. Making it work with John Mechie III. Yeah.
Exactly. We talked about that on the podcast. But Jaden Daniels has that in him. Like, he has that eye test that I never saw with Jalen Hurts. And you could say Eagles bias, you hate the Eagles. I'm a football fan first, and I hate the Commanders. And I'm saying this about Jaden Daniels. Do I hate the Eagles more? Surely. But I still hate the Commanders, but I also hate that they have Jaden Daniels. And I'm pissed that they got Jaden Daniels. He's fucking good. And
I've never seen a quarterback with that much talent on any team in our division. I don't even know. I'm trying to think of a guy that Randall Cunningham maybe on the Eagles or like Donovan McNabb type shit. Maybe early Dak and thinking like or some Romo.
Yeah, no, I mean it still is early to like.
Bro is so talented though.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of people agree with me that Jaden Daniels is better than Jalen Hurts, and we talked about it early in the year. Overreactions that maybe aren't overreactions. It was our after week one theme. And this is an overreaction that I don't really think is an overreaction. I think Jaden Daniels is this good. I think he's elevated a team around him. We've never seen this. I know they're only in the conference championship game. They're not in the Super Bowl yet. They have a new head coach. Mm-hmm. They have a new quarterback. They have a new owner. New GM. On defense, I'm thinking this is off
every
the top
position line
off the top of my head on defense. All of their impact players are first-year players. Yeah. Mikey Sanders still out of the draft.
Yeah,
we have Marshawn Lattimore, who they joined mid-season. They have Jeremy Chin, first year on the team. Bobby Wagner, first year on the team. Dorrance Armstrong, first year on the team. Dante Fowler, first year on the team. Frankie Louvu, first year on the team.
Good.
This is 7 new starters. A new defensive scheme with Dan Quinn, his first year as head coach, running that defense. Joe Vitt. And
the only guy on offense that's the same guy is 2 guys, Brian Robinson and Terry McLaurin.
De'Ami Brown. But offensively, shoot, we could do it on offense too. Austin Eckler, Jaden Daniels, Tyler Biotish, Zach Ertz.
Noah Brown
caught the fucking Hail Mary against the Bears. Who knows if that doesn't happen where they are. And all these guys, and then we could get into the former Cowboys head coach.
Oh, you said Eckler, right, by the way, and McNichols from Seattle.
I did say McNichols might have been there last year. You could check me on that. I might throw a challenge flag on that.
McNichols scored a rushing touchdown for them.
I'm saying McNichols was on the Commanders last year.
Oh, got you. Yeah, that might be true. I don't know that. Yeah, okay. Got you.
My point being, I said Eckler, Ertz, Biotish, Noah Brown, Jaden Daniels. Crazy. All these guys are brand new guys. The turnover is insane to go from a 4-13 team, turn it over in the NFC Championship game. And I do think, as much as it has to do with fucking head coach, owner, I'll go in this order. Owner, head coach, GM, because I do think that defense, he made the right call at every single position.
Dan Quinn.
Drafting, Well, Dan Quinn as the coach, but I'm saying the GM, they might have worked together on it. So we'll say we'll give both of them.
I think in terms of the supplies, it wasn't just Dan Quinn sitting in the.
No, I think Adam Peters has a ton to do with it.
Yeah,
I'll give you
definitely in the supermarket, but I think Dan Quinn is kind of with him in the supermarket shopping for pieces too. Like
I'll give Dan Quinn credit for bringing in the likes of Dorrance and Dante Fowler, who obviously were underneath him in Dallas. But I will give
Bobby underneath him in Seattle too.
No, right? Dan Quinn was in Dallas when Bobby Wagner was in Seattle.
Okay,
Wagner, Dan Quinn was in Seattle before he went to Atlanta and lost in the Super Bowl.
Right.
That was way longer.
Right. Yeah.
No. So he did have
Bobby, though, right?
He did have Bobby Wagner a long time ago. I'm sorry, but it was a long time ago.
It was a long. It wasn't like okay.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy that
No. Good point. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My apologies. Yes, he did have him in Seattle a long time ago.
Right.
Then, but also, like I said, the Jeremy Chins and Frankie Louvu's of the world from Carolina, you know, unbelievable additions. The Mikey Sanders draft pick, unbelievable. Marshawn Lattimore going out and getting him during the season.
Sanders, how do you say his name? What's his last name?
Sanders still.
He's the guy that had 2 interceptions last week. Is that him?
Yeah, he's a rookie from Michigan.
Yeah, he's good, man.
Yeah, now you go from St. Just. And the guy we always talk shit about, I kind of feel bad for it at this point, and I still almost don't remember his name. First round pick, corner. It always takes me a second to remember. Oh my god.
On the Commanders?
Yeah. We did the same thing last week. I feel so bad because he's so bad we forget his name.
Oh no. I think he's just so forgettable at this point. I don't know if we should just even.
No, I have to say
that other guy.
No, I have to get it. I have to get it.
Not St. Jude.
No, I have to find it because
Landon Collins.
That's who it is. Emmanuel Forbes. Emmanuel Forbes. It went from Emmanuel Forbes and St. Just to now they have Mikey Sanders still and Marshawn Lattimore. You know, like we got to give these guys. But number one, at the person we give credit to is Jaden Daniels. It's just proof positive that a quarterback can change your whole franchise. And obviously they pressed a lot of other right buttons, but there's something about having a great quarterback that makes everyone play harder, whether it's defense, whether it's offensive line blocking harder, wide receivers running routes harder even when the play isn't called for them, running backs running a little harder, defenses fighting through blocks a little harder. When you know you have a quarterback who, if you make one big play to get it to a one-score game in the fourth quarter, you have a good chance, it emanates through the whole team.
No question. He's unbelievable, and he's stoic, and he's stoic on the positive side. He doesn't seem
stoic on the positive side.
You know what I mean? Like
he's smiling.
He's smiling, but he's level-headed. It's not like he's giving off this aura that he's level, but it's kind of from this, negative, connotated perspective. He has this coolness about him and it doesn't seem like it's too cool either, like Jalen Hurts in a way. The way Jalen Hurts kind of smiles sometimes, he looks kind of like a sarcastic asshole or like I'm too good asshole. I know I'm surrounded by the best. What are you gonna do, bitch? Kind of smile. Like Jaden has just like this unbridled confidence smile. Like, nah, this is me. I throw the ball in a bucket.
Jalen Hurts, he's not likable. I live in the Pennsylvania area.
Cool. He's like very too cool for school.
I live in the Philly. Everybody around me loves the Eagles. I listen to the Eagles. I listen to Philadelphia talk radio. That's the one thing Philadelphia fans are complaining about right now is Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
That's the one thing Philadelphia fans are worried about, complaining about, upset about is Jalen Hurts.
Man. It's Hotz's take that he hated Jalen Hurts first, way before me.
It's like I said, I'm not unique in this take. Listen to Pennsylvania 94 WIP. 9 out of 10 callers are like, the only thing I'm worried about is Jalen Hurts. And then other callers
he throws 90 yards a game.
The Eagles are, I think they're something like 4-0 in the playoffs when he throws for under 175 yards, and they're like 0-3 when he throws for more than 275 yards. Like the Eagles' offense relies on him being a runner, providing the read option game. They're worse off with Pickett. They're worse off with Tanner McKee. He's a fringe top 10 quarterback. He's not bad quarterback. No. But he's not elite at any measure, and I'm very comfortable.
Ultimate game manager.
I'm very comfortable saying Jaden Daniels is better. But like I said, this is something that isn't just coming from me. If you live in the Philadelphia area, the number one concern Eagles fans and Eagles fan-heavy media is worried about is Jalen Hurts. If they get down, what are they going to do? If they get down, can they throw their way back into a game?
I also, this is the main thing. If you put Jalen Hurts on the Commanders with De'Ami Brown and some of these other loose pieces, Zach Ertz, I would say some of these, not journeymen, but guys maybe at the end of their careers or guys that really haven't had a stellar career. They're not all-star talents like Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown and Saquon Barkley. Like, in my personal opinion, I don't think Hurts elevates the guys around him. I think he just uses the pieces that he's been given by Howie Roseman and the construction of this offense. I don't necessarily think he levels up the team. He just is good, and the team is good, so they're going to be good, and they do exactly what they're chalked to do, is the word I would use.
I'll give him credit.
I think if Aiden Daniels was on that offense, there's a whole other level from a passing attack wise that team could be, that they would be completely unstoppable. And this is why they placate with some of these games, and they could have been beat this past week against the Rams. The Rams had a chance at the end of that game because they were fucking around with their offense at the end of the game, and Hurts got sacked by holding onto the ball too long.
The second down play call was so bad.
The whole thing was a mess. The Rams actually had a fucking chance. The reason they have a chance is because they don't step on anybody's throat in the playoffs.
It was like 2nd and 8. Saquon got like 2 yards. Just give it to Saquon 3 times. Even if he gets another 2 yards.
Again, what's the problem? These coaches get way too cute, as Jermaine talks about all the time. Super cute. And then Hurts takes a sack, and it's like,
which is better than an incomplete pass, to be fair to Hurts there.
Run. So
or you make him use the timeout, whatever, either way.
That could happen, but it ruined the drive because it was a 10-yard sack, not a 2-yard sack.
But it's not that. I don't blame that on Hurts, though. I blame that on they should have just given the ball to Saquon. But my point being is this: Jalen Hurts is not a bad quarterback by any measure.
He's good. He's good.
He's limited as a passer.
Limited's a good passer.
And I will fucking stand on that forever. Guys need to be open, and he throws it. He doesn't throw people open. He doesn't anticipate. I will stand on that take forever. The only time he shows any anticipation is on one-on-one deep balls, and that's just like trusting A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith to make plays.
Their talent,
He doesn't throw people open on a slant. Doesn't throw people open on over the middle at all. You show me Jalen Hurts throwing someone open over the middle, I will eat my words.
He's an incredible runner, though. I will say that.
But that's what I was about to get into. His skill set allows them to call this offense of RPO and control the clock and go for it on 3rd and 4th and short.
Arguably the best rushing backfield of all time. I'm going to throw a take out there. Seriously. Between quarterback and running back. Arguably the best ever.
But he allows them to call this offense of you start at 1st and 9, at 2nd and 9. Shout
out Jermaine. Michael Vick and Warwick Dunn is another one. I got you, Jermaine. 2,000-yard rushers, I believe, in the same season. So, I think that, there's very few of these types of teams where the quarterback is such an exceptional rusher and so dynamic, too. He had the rushing touchdown to start the game last week, 40-yard scamper up the right. Obviously, like you talk about the offensive line.
Well, Warwick Dunn wasn't rushing for 2,000 yards, though, Saquon did this year.
Difference there. Saquon versus Warwick Dunn is that's where we get separated. But Nick versus Hurts, I don't know.
But, the most Mike Vick ever rushed for in a season was 1,200 yards.
Ooh.
So
Cam Newton and D'Angelo Williams, Jonathan
Stewart. Cam Newton never rushed for 1,000 yards.
That much,
Cam Newton had 15 rushing touchdowns, I think, in a season.
Yeah, the TDs were there.
But I don't think he ever had 1,000 yards rushing. But my point being is, if you add the 2 yards together, give Saquon his full credit. Saquon is way better than either one of those other running backs in the system.
Oh, yeah.
And
Saquon's on
regardless, just getting back to bringing it home to Jalen Hurts, yes, his skill set allows them to do what the Eagles do, which is run block downhill.
Who's winning this game, in your opinion? The Eagles or the Commanders?
I think the Eagles win, the Commanders cover, but the Commanders are very live as a dog.
Yeah. Lamar and King Henry.
Yeah. Lamar and King Henry are definitely the closest.
Yeah, for sure. I like the Commanders in this game. Something smells. I don't know. I just feel like the Eagles play around too much. I don't trust them. I just feel like they play with their food a lot. And even if they get up in the game, I feel like the Commanders will come roaring back because they have a lot of grit to them and they're not afraid. And Jane Daniels is a cool customer. He's come back in a bunch of games this year, so I almost like them even if they get down. But if they happen to get up, it could get fucking awesome and electric and quick for that team. They've been playing on the road. They're road warriors. Something about being on the road. You know what I'm talking about, Hots in the playoffs. These road teams that get hot and never get home cooking, and they're just living together, close-knit unit, family style, and they're just fucking roughing it. Man, they get scary.
I'll close with the take of that. If the Commanders are down a score with the ball in the fourth quarter, with like 4 minutes left, give me Jaden Daniels and the Commanders to make plays to win the game at the end of the game. If the Eagles go out and they're up, 14 in the fourth quarter, obviously that there is a path. But I think if the Commanders are in the game late and they have the ball, basically this might be whoever has the ball last wins game.
Yeah, both games.
Yeah, potentially both games.
Gonna be great.
Yeah,
great
so
football. Looking forward to it.
Rank the head coaching hires.
The Commanders and the Chiefs, and you have the Chiefs and the Eagles.
No, I got the Bills.
You got the Bills and the Eagles. So we're against each other.
No. I don't want the Eagles to
the
win.
Bills for the record, but I'm talking about your pick. Who do you think is going to win, truthfully?
I don't know.
If you had to pick one, Squid Games, gun to head, what do we got? Chiefs or Bills?
I'm never going to say the Eagles, so I'll say Bills and Commanders. And I'm not. Yeah.
I mean, dying soul. Damn. Going out in glory.
All right, real quick. We got a little time.
Yeah. Let's go through the coaches. Yeah.
So power rank them. Jets, Aaron Glenn. Bears, Ben Johnson. Raiders, Pete Carroll. Jags, Liam Cohen. Pats, Mike Vrabel. And the Cowboys are last. We'll just keep them out.
Ryan Schottenheimer. All right. The number one hire I would say is, let's see here. Mike Vrabel. I like Aaron Glenn going back to the Jets. I do. I don't know why. It seems like a good fit. And I don't know necessarily if the Jets team is going to be the same that it looked like last year. I can see Garrett Wilson maybe getting traded. Maybe they bring back Aaron. I don't know what they're planning on doing, but I do like the hire. I think Aaron Glenn is a cool hire considering he was a Jet. He was a cool Jet. He was a good Jet. So big shout out to him. I would say that's my favorite hire. My least favorite hire that I think was fucked up is the whole – what was that guy's name that got hired by the Jaguars again, John?
Liam Cohen. You want me to break down the scenario to everybody real quick?
We can talk about it. Go ahead, bro. Break it down.
All right, so basically Liam Cohen interviewed with the Jaguars, went back to the Bucs. The Bucs agreed to make him the highest paid coordinator in the NFL on the contingency that he wouldn't do a second interview with the Jaguars.
Right.
While that was discussed, he agreed to the Bucs offer. The Jaguars owner found out about this agreement, fires his GM on the spot, which was miraculous that he didn't fire him when he fired Doug Peterson. This is Trent Baalke we're talking about. The Jaguars
people that don't know, Trent Baalke went on a news program with his owner, and literally on airwaves, they were in the same interview, and he goes, would you guys think about changing the GM? Right in front of him. Would you guys think about changing the GM if the coach requested? He goes, everything is on the table. We would definitely look at it. Right in front of the GM. And then he gets fired.
There's no way that he couldn't have fired the GM when he fired the coach. That made no fucking sense to begin with. And this is proof positive of that because Shad Khan fires Trent Baalke, reaches out to Liam Cohen directly, and Liam Cohen is in Jacksonville and signed by midnight that night after they fired
dodging the Bucs calls like an ex-girlfriend. Straight up.
He did what he had to do. He played hardball. I mean, Trent Baalke should have been fired to begin with, so I'm not that perturbed at the move because why would Liam Cohen go to a coach killer GM?
No, I don't think that's the issue. I think Liam Cohen's correspondence and lack thereof, from what I've heard, and like him not answering the phone and not being upfront about what he decided to change his mind on, that's the thing I've been reading more along the lines of that versus the Trent Baalke side. Trent Baalke, whatever, like you said, should have been fired a year ago. Whatever the fuck, he sucks. And he'll be lucky to get another job in this league again.
I get what you're saying. He could have answered or whatever, this and that. But it's like...
well, unprofessional is the word I would use. That's all. Well,
But
unprofessional.
at the same time, I'm always a fan of.
That are being messed up here a little bit. That I'm smelling.
I mean, like you said, guys like Brian Schottenheimer thought they'd never get head coaching chances again, so he took his, you know.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said to Jermaine. I was like, when your time comes around to be able to become a head coach, it does not matter what.
That's what Liam Cohen was doing.
Exactly.
He,
No, we
he
agree
wasn't
that Liam
answering the
Cohen-
Bucks. He was probably in meetings with the Jaguars doing negotiations.
You ask Liam Cohen's family, you ask him, he's the happiest soul in the world. He don't give a fuck how the Bucks feel. What the hell?
Stay in Florida. They're probably barely
The Bucks
move.
just feel like, all right, business ethics wise, you could have given us a call, and I could see that. Is what I'm saying. I could see that.
But I'm saying he might have just had his phone on Do Not Disturb while he was negotiating a new contract with the Jaguars, you know?
Yeah, a little too convenient. I don't know. Anyway,
It's
shout.
just the timeline lines up. You went there, you know?
Yeah.
I guess
Do you think that
when he agreed to the Bucks, I guess before he flew back to Jacksonville, he could have been like, "Hey, they just told me they fired their GM.
they're making
That
it
opens the door back up."
Yeah. That's
Either
probably what
way.
happened. But in any event, shouts to Liam Cohen. Congrats on your new job. You have an
Interesting.
uphill battle. Good job.
So I'll just say I'll go Vrabel, Ben Johnson, Pete Carroll, Aaron Glenn, Liam Cohen, Cowboys. And now the Saints are still open. I'm going to throw out a couple names, and you tell me who of those names you think has the best chance. Maybe they go totally different, but
Okay.
Saints, their open head coaching job. Mike McCarthy, Cliff Kingsbury, retaining Darren Rizzi, Joe Brady, or Kellen Moore.
Mike McCarthy or Kellen Moore.
All right. I say Joe Brady just because of the Louisiana ties with that LSU team, being the offensive coordinator for Joe Burrow and Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase.
Not bad take.
So,
If
I
only,
like
if
Joe
only he could
Brady.
take that whole team with him. Yeah.
but I'm just saying, I think he knows the area. You know, he's been around Baton Rouge, not that far from NOLA. So I like Joe Brady there. And then, we close the show. Go Commanders. As much as I hate to say it, I just don't want the Eagles to win. I have a lot of Eagles fan friends. I'm sorry. But fuck you guys.
Yeah, fuck you guys. Go Commanders and go Bills.
Yeah, go Bills for sure. I got Bills
Go
in the
Bills
future
for
plus
sure.
650.
Yeah, for sure. And shout out to Buffalo once again being in it.
Oh, and my whole parlay, real quick, just to give it to the fans to fade. I got to log back into DraftKings now. But it was what we said earlier. Josh Allen, anytime TD. Travis Kelce, anytime TD. Khalil Shakir, over 50 yards. And then on the other game, so it's 3 picks for each game. Commanders plus 10.5. Jaden Daniels, 10-plus rushing attempts. Over 43.5. So that, over 10 rushing attempts. I'm telling you. 10, it pays out that, no, not 10 to 1, 18 to 1. So
I would do yards. I would be afraid to do attempts to be playing with.
Nah, yards, attempts. Go for it.
Right.
10-plus attempts.
I like Austin Eckler's over on receiving yards.
Everybody likes that. That's not hitting.
Brian Robinson Jr. anytime touchdown.
No,
Jimmy Brown over on his yards.
No, the
Over on
Eckler.
his yards.
Don't do the Eckler receiving yards. Everybody's on that. Everyone's on that. I'm telling you. Every single person giving out a parlay is putting Eckler
Defensive touchdowns have
receiving
happened in
yards.
every round of every game. Keep it in mind when you're betting. Think about it.
Eckler receiving yards is on everybody's slip, dude. Vegas is not going to let that happen. Don't do
Lots
it.
of field goals in the Bills-Chiefs game, I smell, too.
Really? I think everyone's going
1.5 field goals per half.
Everyone's going for fucking fourth downs in both of these matchups.
Nah. The Chiefs kicked 2 field goals to start the game last week. Or did you forget?
Yeah, they were playing the Texans, not the Bills.
Good luck.
Yeah, we'll see.
Damn, shouts to Brian Schottenheimer, bro. You just brought the best out of John. That was worth it.
Yeah,
It was worth it for that hire to hear that.
I was out of gas.
That was gospel. So, Sixers, Hot Set Streamers, always a pleasure.
Yeah, we might have to clip that one. We might have to
for
put
the rest
that.
of your weekend. And, we'll be tuned in to these games, and hopefully it's fuck the Eagles.
I meant everything I said, by the way. I don't take any of it back.
You shouldn't. It was gospel, like I said.
Yeah.